Good morning, welcome to Snetterton Circuit. We're here today with Dan and Kev doing the fast sports. What's the real name of it? Doing Clubsport. It's a 45-minute endurance race with a pit stop. Dan's here early because we're doing a practice session. Just been unloading, getting everything ready, off to scrutineering now. So it's a nice day, sun's out, which seems to be a theme of these races. It's red hot, I've got my shorts on. We'll see how we get on. Dan's just come back from scrutineering, but they've been a bit upset about the slightly damaged window. He's pleased about it. We've had to put some sellotape, well, basically sellotape onto the windscreen so they don't get shards of glass into his eyeballs. It's a good start to the day for the lad. He's very happy. What they've made him do is laminate his laminated screen on the inside with some tape to stop shards of glass going into his eyeballs when he's driving.
I thought you was being shot at.
Don't look like it'll be too bad from in the driver's seat.
I'm sure once I'm got, when I was going back from school I was like, this is shit, but I'm sure when I'm on the track it'll be fine.
Right, fuel's in, scrutineers are happy. Dan's just getting cameras ready for onboards. Just been called for his practice session, which starts at 9 o'clock. So the car's good to go. We're going to be doing a bit of data reviewing and analysis to try and make sure he's as fast as he can be. It's going to be interesting. We've not done it before, but it's a new thing to try.
Thank you for being here. I know that the nature of marshalling is not really just show up when practice starts. You've been here for probably a couple of hours already.
So we're some way into the practice session now. At some point I'm expecting Dan to come in to get this JDM ECU. We're going to do a bit of back-to-back testing and see if this is any faster than the UK ECU. He was meant to come in a few laps into the session and get his tyres checked, but he's just been sending it for half an hour. Everyone else is coming in. Pit stop completed.
The assembly area, please, for AirTech Motorsport ESI.
Right. Pit stop's complete. We checked the rear wheels because they're new, and it's lucky that we did because they were pretty much hand tight. We've put a bit of extra air in the tyres, and we've put in that JDM ECU. So we'll see if that makes any difference to his lap times. He says he's only managed to get a couple of laps in. Not sure why, we'll find out when he comes back. So the practice testing session was a great success. Previous best time here was 2 minutes 22 for a lap. It's a 3-mile circuit, so it's not a fast lap, but 2 minutes 22. Fastest lap this time out was 2 minutes 17. So 5 seconds shaved off. Obviously it's got different tyres to what it normally runs in the MR2 because it's got the AO52 setup instead of the 888Rs that it usually runs. So the control tyre for the MR2s is a 205 and a 195 stagger on the 888s. But these are a 225, 205, so a lot more tyre. He was saying he was having a few issues with, he was saying it was skipping a little bit because it was unloading one of the rear tyres. So I think we're going to have a go at softening the roll bar off a bit, and hopefully that'll stop it skipping the rears. Welcome to the data center.
IT phrase.
So just exporting all the session data from Race Chrono and putting it on Circuit Tools, which is a really stable program.
Didn't pay for the license, bro. Last time was 222.9.
So is that last year's data?
That's last year's data. This morning's practice session 217.5, and then don't have all the data. We need to find a way to mount my phone better so I can get the accelerometer data better. But we do have speed.
The data center is growing. Dan's just fetching the video from the onboard camera. We're going to compare it with the Circuit Tools data and see if we can figure out why he was faster on some laps than the others. Luckily we've got many screens on the go for in the data van. So what we've got now is video data on this computer, some data on the phone screen, and some data on the circuit laptop.
Maybe it'd be better to do.
It has arrived with the Integra. Alright, Kev.
There's 2 cameras on me today.
2 cameras today, mate, so you better do well.
Detailing.
Cobwebs on his posh Mercedes.
Even inside.
He's come in his race uniform again, look. Race uniform again.
That's right. Alright.
Just so you've got an overview of the data analysis suite, it's the back of Ed's van. It's perfect for the job.
218 was faster up until right at the end. Are you videoing this as well?
I'm videoing it as well, I'll steal your commentary.
Very nice. It's very interesting to watch. The lap that was actually faster looks a lot more hectic, but the one which was faster all the way through until the end, I lose a second at the end, so something must happen on the left hand side. We better just overlay this, wouldn't it? But
yeah. So we've managed to get the video side by side, which is probably would have been sufficient on this occasion to see where the time was lost, because it was all by this,
yeah, right at the last corner,
by a C1 in the last corner. But we've compared it to the data, can see where he was faster. He's got a plan for qualifying now, for your qualifying run, haven't you?
Go fast.
Nice. So Kevin has returned from scrutineering and he has also had some problems. These ones maybe seem reasonable though. His extinguisher sticker was not readable enough, so I have to take that off. New sticker installed. I'm chief of putting stickers on today. What's he going to do with this camera mount, which is definitely a hazard? Luckily Dan has got a spare roll cage mount. What else do you need, Kev?
Red felt tip.
For what?
Extinguisher.
It's on.
Pardon?
It's on.
He's not happy with it.
We've done it.
Oh, where'd you get them?
You had them with you last time, remember?
Oh, okay. I couldn't find it.
So we did try the JDM ECU, but it didn't provide any benefits, and unfortunately it lost us some valuable data. And as you've seen, data is the name of the game today, so we'll put the UK ECU back in and get back the RPM data for post-quali analysis.
I've gone through and counted him. He's changed from A to B.
Right. Needles has done a full hot. Was it? Needles has done a full setup. It's even got the corner names on for us.
Hang on, I do appreciate this. I know I took the piss last time, but this is actually very good. Can we go back a second? Because next door, so I've got another entry in my class.
Yeah, only you and one other guy.
No, there's 3 in my class, but there's a Mazda next door who's so currently class E, he says. But he's going to move to, yeah, that one, you've already took that one.
I've already done that. He's right on it.
Right.
It's a Mark 3.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right.
Put down over there, you'll be getting that.
Lasagna and chips. Shitey sandwich.
Yeah.
When I first met you, you were a different man. You would have been having extra chips in that. You'd been asking for these chips.
I'm trying to feed myself the same as Kevin, so I know how much he has to eat.
Looking after him.
Yeah.
We thought we had loads of time, so we just had a nice lasagna lunch, but they've called real early, so we've just had to put some fuel in the car. Yes, we've remembered fuel. Now getting ready to go out, 30 minutes ahead of schedule, but you know, that's the way they like to run things. Dan's ready for quali, just going now. It's a lot hotter than what it was this morning, so we're predicting some tyre pressures might need to come down. But he's good to go. Kevin, as ever, is getting prepared in a very leisurely manner. So Dan is currently on his way to assembly. He's notoriously late. Kevin,
Hello.
still getting dressed.
Yes. It appears so.
It does appear so.
Listen, mate, the only thing that matters is a stopwatch. And it hasn't started yet. Want to get really close so you can hear the laces. You hear the laces rubbing off against each other so you can get the old ASMR.
ASMR. There's no chance of that with all this background noise, lad. Alright, it's about 12 minutes later. Kevin's just getting in his car. What are you going to do, Kev?
Go right fast.
He's going to go right fast.
Right fast.
Or in Kevin's language, drive fast.
Drive fast and turn left and right.
Me and Kevving are just going down to the assembly area.
I don't want that. I can't have that.
Is he trying to feed you some water?
No, coffee.
Coffee? So Kev's dad's super protective mode today. He's feeding him, drinking him. I don't know why, but he's like right on. I think it's because you had to have that tactical nap at Alton.
Maybe.
He was not impressed with that. Don't run this bloke over.
I'll try not to.
The fuck was that?
Cheers, mate.
First gear strong.
That's second gear.
Yes, I know.
Oh.
Kevin doesn't appreciate that I don't have a seat.
Sorry.
He's not sorry. He did that on purpose.
I did not do that on purpose.
He did that on purpose.
I didn't, I promise. Are you recording?
Yes, I'm recording.
Sorry about that, mate.
He's not sorry. He's going to do it again, given the chance.
I won't.
All right, we're lined up next to the Invitational E36, which is pretty cool. Oh, we're lined up next to Dan.
Whoa, I know that guy.
It's that guy off the internet.
Yeah.
We know him. Kevin's date has just shown up with both his number and my number.
Wow.
Coolant temperature, funny number. Intake temperature, Kevin number. That's nice, isn't it, Kev? What you got to say about that?
Very good. I already done my emotion before you turned the camera on, so I cannot possibly replicate it.
He cannot replicate his OG reaction. Engage, sun mode. Nice. You look a bit Robocop like that.
That's real smooth, pretty good.
Posh helmet things. Alright, after a bit of a delay, they're still a little ahead of schedule, so that's good. The boys are ready to go out now and do their qualifying session. Everything's good, they've both got data running, both got cameras running, so if anything good happens, it'll be in the video now.
Strategic interest, customers today.
These poor fellas were practicing earlier. They set on fire pretty spectacularly in the pit lane during qualifying. Not a good day for those gents. They were checking under it when they pulled in for the pit stop, so it's maybe something they knew was already bad. So post-qualifying, Kevin's qualified with a time of 2:11.9. 2:11.8, and
Class C car in front of me.
well, there's only one class. The classes no longer matter because actually Kevin has now been informed he's been bumped up to Class A. How do you feel, Kev?
Not great, is it?
He's pleased about it.
Not pleased.
So Kevin has qualified first in class. Dan has qualified first in class as well. Dan got a 2:17.9. So they both qualified really, really well. The race is not until 6 p.m. No, 5:15. It finishes at 6. So we've got loads of time to mill about and review data. These boys are doing some hardcore data comparisons. The MR2 boys, we've just been cleaning off all the powder from their burnt up shell. So they're not sure why the fire started on this. But the guy that drives the car rebuilds engines for what he does, so he's not too upset. He's going to be able to put that right, but it was their first time out in the car, so it's a real shame for them, but these things happen. So it turns out the classes in Clubsport are pretty just made up, useless. Fluid.
It turns out, it's funny, the commentator mentioned something about BOP fiasco at Spa.
Right.
We were listening to the test session on the way in.
What's BOP?
Balance of performance.
Balance of performance.
Do it in endurance.
If you do good, you top class.
Sort of. I mean, there's a lot of conjecture, should we say.
Conjecture.
But pretend you don't like big words.
I'll put a translation on the screen.
That's the only reason I said it is for you.
It's getting on a bit now. There's 2 more races to go before the last race of the day, which is the Clubsport Trophy. That'll be Dan and Kev. We're pretty much ready to rip.
Oh God.
Because of how big of a gap it was. If it was 3 seconds, I'd let it go.
Right.
But it's 6 seconds and it was fairly consistent.
Right.
Okay, it's early for this meeting. Next one, sit back down, look at that, see what happens. Okay? Alright.
So in case the wind noise took all of that away, Dan's just been informed that he is now a Class C competitor, having qualified on pole.
Fucking bullshit.
Yeah, it's not ideal, that, is it?
No, it's not. Fuck me for having a competitive car, right?
That's what you get for being at the top of the regs and being fast.
Apparently the next guy's 6 seconds behind me.
What about the next guy in front though? We need to relook at the qualifying times now and see what Dan's chances are of having a result.
That's who I'm racing against.
Oh, you're in the class with the Type R's? So Dan's now moved from racing Clio 182s, 172s to Civic Type R's. So they've got another 70 horsepower on top with probably another 100 kilos. It's not ideal. They just keep moving classes around. It's not going to... Yeah, we'll have to... For prosperity, we can cut that bit out of the video and just say that you won your class. Never tell anybody. But in reality, what's happened is they've moved Kevin and Dan up. So they've been penalised for being fastest in their classes. BRSCC. A bit of this and that.
Very dis and that.
Very this and that. So the new rival in Class C is now this fully kitted out EP3 with posh brakes, K20, which we know is master race when it comes to engines. It's got an Area Motorsport sticker on it, so it's probably fast. We're a spy. We're checking out what's going on here. They've got a dodgy spare wheel, mate.
I'm racing against this one now. Where is he? Where is he?
Oh, he's having a Kevving now.
Well, tell him, we were chatting yesterday. When he comes out, tell him when we're on circuit that you're racing the red MR2. I don't want him to think I'm just being a cock on purpose.
You wouldn't be a cock on purpose, would you now?
Do that, no.
Alright, so we've just been called for the race. We're riding shotgun with Dan this time. Hopefully he doesn't pull the same trick that Kevin did.
slam on?
Yes, he fucking slammed on the brakes.
He could, man. I'd never do that.
I've got to remember not to hold the A-pillar in Dan's car because it traps your fingers when he goes over bumps.
Had that, innit?
So in case the previous explanation doesn't make it into the cut, Dan has been bumped up into Class C, which means he's now racing this Civic that's ahead of us. He is potentially over a second a lap faster, but that would mean he had to do quali pace all the way through the lap, all the way through the race. Dan's got youth on his side.
I'm only 30.
But if Dan can keep a consistent low 118, which he was doing pretty well through the practice session, he's a good chance of being behind this fella when it matters, when he can make a move.
I reckon he'd tell us what power it is if we asked him.
Him there?
Yeah, it sounded in.
Do you reckon he knows?
Do we know? Are you still recording?
Yeah, I'm still.
This guy watches my videos, he was chatting to us yesterday, but now I'm racing him, so...
Yeah, we was friends before when it didn't matter,
yeah,
but now that it matters, we'll tell you after the race. Nice bloke though, so hopefully he just lets Dan by. And it's crunch time. What are you going to do?
Drive fast, hope for the best.
Right, I'll go and ask Kevin what he's going to do, see if he's got any other ideas. I'll be back. Jeremy, did you know that Dan's been bumped up to your class now?
No, we're going to move him out, I've just got him out of it.
Oh, you sorted it out, have you? Yeah, you told him you don't want to race him. Yeah, that's it. Good luck. Kevin starting at the front of the race next to this posh fella. Hello, Kevin. Are you prepared for the race? So they've just got away for the race start, and we've just heard, the first we've heard of it over the tannoy, they've reduced the length of the race now to 35 minutes from 45. What that means is that if Kevin or Dan decide to stop at minute 29, they're only going to have 2 racing laps left to do whatever they want to do. So it's not quite what we expected. Seems to be a theme occurring here. So Kevin started P2 on the grid, but P1 started from the pits in the end, so Kevin should be there, but he's actually here. Oh, Dan! So Dan is way up. I don't know how Dan's done now. Let's have a look where he is. So Dan has somehow found his way into 6th from 12th in Class D. So I don't know how he's done that, but Dan's somehow in 6th. So things seem to be evening out somewhat now. They're just coming round onto the start-finish straight again. We've got this Scirocco. It's Paul Hinton, it's Kevin, and then Sapra. Come on, Dan! So that's his main rival there, about 4 or 5 places behind him. We've just pit stopped both the boys. It was not the most successful pit stop we've ever done. Kevin had a timer malfunction again. Daniel had a Caterfield malfunction. So both the guys have lost a bit of time there. Kevin unfortunately is running now in 4th, and Dan is somewhere in the mid-pack. We'll see how they finish up. There's 5 minutes of racing left. Walking over to Parc Ferme now. Hopefully there's no violence going on. Although I suspect Dan wants to do some violence acts. P1, invitational, wasted everybody's time. What was the lap times? Your lap times? 17.8, fastest of the day. That is the body language of a man who is very upset about the race result.
Would not let me down anywhere near me.
A man who is pleased, a man who is upset. A man who's not quite sure what's going on around him at any time.
Yeah, he was definitely holding you up.
Well,
The last remaining car of Class D,
Yeah?
the one car that remained in Class D, he won his class.
won his class.
Won his class.
Remarkable.
Stuff, innit?
Did he get the finish? Did he get the finish?
You should have just removed Class D. You can't have one car in it. If you're shuffling them around, you can't have.
Maybe they put some Class E's on. Or some Class E's down.
Yeah, maybe.
What happened you after the pit stop? I thought you were going to come out literally ahead of both of us.
We had a timing issue.
And then nothing else.
What time did you do in the pits though? Was that 2:10 or something?
We're not sure yet.
We don't even know that.
2:19 they said.
2:19. Ah, damn.
Yeah.
So
What a shame.
there's all the fucking time.
The gap was 22 seconds though,
Come down
so
the pit line after 1 minute 20, just going at 4 kilometres an hour. Just waiting.
yeah,
I don't know
it
why, but I came in steaming.
Oh fuck me.
jumped and then locked the brakes. You know, there's little bumps between the garages.
Fucking squeaking the fucking mirror. I'm actually fucking
He stopped about 2 garages later than he wanted to, I think. It's what you might call a fairly subdued atmosphere in the Kevving garage. So, overview, race was going good for both guys up until pit stop, at which point external factors damaged results. Dan did manage to refrain from violence. He tells me he even refrained from swearing at the Caterfield man.
Should have wrung his neck.
I told you he'd want to do violence.
I want to do violence. Violence is not the answer.
Violence is not the answer. Violently shouting in the car, good. Violence outside car, bad. Kevin has assumed the position of so laid back he's almost horizontal. This chair's a metaphor for your outlook on life, innit? Laid back.
Yeah, man.
You enjoy your race?
I did. Despite the pit stop.
Despite the bit that I was responsible for, he enjoyed it. Everybody's getting packed away. Seems that we're always the last to leave. I don't know how it happens. People seem to drive straight on trailer and drive home. But that concludes the Snetterton Sunday spectacular that we've just done. Kevin did good, Dan did good. Neither of them are very happy about it. Snetterton, we'll see you again soon. What you got to say about that, Kevin?
Typical fucking racing drivers, isn't it? Everyone else says, yeah, you should be happy with that, and racing driver, no.
No, not good enough.
No.
Not me. When I finish all right, I'm like, yeah, I'm pleased with that, me.
That'll change.
I'm a cheery chappie. We'll see you at Snetterton next week as well, when Kev is doing road sports and Dan is racing just in the MR2 series, and also Josh is racing.
I shall be racing in road sports.
If there's any gaps in road sports, maybe I'll have a go.
I think Dan is racing Club Enduro, is he not?
I don't know if that's public information. Dan's racing Club Enduro too, with Darkside. You heard it here
It'll be
first.
public when it happens.
It will be public when I put it online tomorrow. Goodbye.